Greetings everyone, Brett here with Hammerhead Model Making, back with another 5-minute review. And I have 3 prefaces for this video. The first one is I apologize for my voice. I somehow managed to come down with a cold in June. Second is my review of this kit's going to be slightly biased because this has probably been one of my most anticipated releases in the last few years. And 3, this review is going to be a little bit longer than normal just because there's a lot to cover in this. So this is the Eduard P-51B Royal Class Boxing. Now, you do get a lot of stuff in this kit. It is a dual combo, and it is a Royal Class, so you do get a lot of extras. One of them being this magnificent poster of the box art from the D-Day boxing of this kit, and it is just beautiful. It's absolutely going up on my wall next to the HK-B-17 poster. You also get this nice little commemorative 8th Air Force pin. Now, looking at the actual plastic, it is the same detail and levels that we've come to expect from Eduard in terms of the overall just finish of the model. However, what I received here actually has a lot of mold release agent on it, more than I've seen on any other Eduard kit. So that's kind of a little annoying because I'll have to do some extra washing on these parts, but other than that, the overall kit looks pretty good. You can see on the lower wing there that small center section of the wheel well was bent. It wasn't bent on the other set, so just this one, but just be aware. One beautiful thing about this kit, though, is the slide molded exhaust here just looks absolutely phenomenal. And I'm completely blown away with how good they look. For both the versions, you get shrouded and unshrouded exhaust, and they just look amazing. You also get slide molded gun barrels as well, which look equally as good. Interior detail is phenomenal. And so I've reviewed the later models, the P-51Ds by Eduard, and I feel like the Bs have way more parts on the interior. You get 3 different styles of seats. You get 2 versions of the early style seat, 1 version of the late style seat. You get multiple versions of the instrument panel with and without molded on detail. Multiple options going into the interior of this kit. So just be aware when you're building it that you're making sure you're getting the correct options for the markings. But all of the detail going into the interior just looks absolutely amazing. And high quality, very... it doesn't feel like they left out anything in this kit. This sprue contains a lot of the external parts going onto the fuselage. You do get multiple propeller options, although I don't believe any of the options use them, except for the cuffed versions. You get 2 versions of the spinners, which have different rivet patterns. You get different options for the vents on the side of the engine there. So definitely lots of options, and I assume there's going to be different versions of the BC Mustangs planned for the future. You get a fairly substantial weapon sprue, but I think this is pretty common among all of the Mustangs. So you get 2 versions of the paper tanks, and then you get metal tanks. You get a couple different size bombs, rockets, and bazookas. But I don't think any of the options in this boxing use the rockets and bazookas. You're just going to have drop tanks and or bombs. But just know that you get different options. You do get 2 sets of clear sprue per Mustang, because they have different canopy options. You get canopy options for the original side opening canopy. This is going to be standard on most of the American P-51Bs and Cs. You do get multiple gun sight options, multiple light options, and the clear parts are just absolutely crystal clear with almost 0 distortion. So hats off to Eduard. The clear parts are just, awesome, amazing. The way they packaged them, all of my clear parts came slightly damaged in terms of parts ready to fall off. So just be aware of that. Here's the Malcolm hood. So this is the British version, which made it over to some American Mustangs as well, but it was equally looking good. So here we have some of our Eduard resin. You get 1 late version seat with seat belts, 3D printed, and you get 1 early version of the seat with seat belts. And these are just absolutely exquisite. I mean, I wish I could show you in person because they look so good. You get 2 sets of wheels, one with diamond tread pattern and one with the kind of the oval tread pattern. Both look very, very nice. Lots of detail. You get resin rear wheels as well as the hubs. You also get 2 sets of resin exhaust. Now, honestly, I think the resin exhaust are kind of useless because the plastic parts looks as good as they do. I don't see a huge difference. You do get 2 sets of color photo etch for each Mustang. Very nice. So harnesses and small details going into the cockpit. You also get one of their 3D printed instrument panel sets. This also looks very nice, but you only get one, you don't get two. But just be aware that it is there. And another cool feature is these laser cut foam masks used to mask off the wheel wells. Fantastic idea. I'm really excited to see how well they work. Hopefully they work good. You do get two sets of pre-cut canopy masks, so that's very nice. And you get a massive amount of decals. So you get all of the decals that come in the Overlord boxing, plus 4 additional sets of markings for the Royal class boxing, plus 2 full sets of stencils. So let's go ahead and take a look at the instructions. This is going to be kind of a breeze through the instructions because there are quite a few steps here, but you can see the first 3 or 4 pages are just cockpit related stuff. But the rest of it all goes together pretty logically. You do have to make sure you see the callouts for all the different versions. There are multiple options going into this kit based on which livery you choose, so just be aware. And there are amazingly good markings in this, and it's going to be really hard to decide which ones to pick. You can only pick 2 of them just because of the limitations of the kit, but very nice sets of markings. Really pleased with this. So overall, this is probably the kit that like I mentioned at the beginning, I've really been anticipating this kit for a long time. As much as I love the Mustang, and you all know I love the Mustang, the P-51Bs and Cs are hands down my favorite versus like the later P-51Ds. So this is definitely a kit that I am going to be getting on the bench probably within the month, just because I'm so excited for it. So it looks great. There were a few little issues with the kit, just in terms of some of the clear parts falling off, that bent part on one of the lower wings, and then it just feels like there's excess mold release. From other reviews that I've seen, that doesn't seem, those other options don't, or those problems don't seem to be consistent. I have seen other review copies where that little part was bent on the lower wing section, so that does appear to be a consistent issue, but the rest of it seems to be kind of a one-off, at least in my case. So there you go. Really anticipating this kit, looking forward to getting it on the bench and building it up. So I would absolutely give this kit high marks. Definitely would recommend it if you're a fan of the Mustang, especially the Razorback Mustangs. Just be aware that it is very high part count, so it will require a good test of those modeling skills. Shout out to my patrons, and we'll see you on the next video. Cheers.